How to do a power steering pump on a 6.0. Right down here, obviously, we're gonna go ahead and pull this whole front bracket off. It'll be the quickest way to do it. First thing you want to do is pop this cover off, pop this intake off. You got a screw here, screw over here, this guy, and this as well. With those couple items off, you're gonna want to go ahead and pop your belt off and take your battery negative cable disconnected, so you can pop this alternator off with it. Taking the belt off is pretty simple. You just got a 15 right down here. Once you push that down, you'll be able to get that belt off. I can't do it one-handed, but you can see I ended up popping off my positives because my negatives were so corroded they didn't want to come off very easily. At this point, we're going to go ahead and take off this alternator. You got a 13mm nut on this back side here, and these two are 15. My apologies, that was a 10mm nut. Sometimes they're 13s, it all depends on what you got. It may be necessary to take a pry bar, wedge in there, and get this guy up out of here. At this point, I think we're ready to go ahead and pop off this guy here, this clamp. You got another one over here. This one goes to the hydro boost if you do have hydro boost. This is just a return, and here's a pressure. At this point, we got all the hoses. That pressure line was a 15mm. You got 3 bolts up here, and you also have one down here at the bottom. And then that bracket's going to come off with the pump itself. Alright, now that we got the whole guy out, you can see there's not a whole lot to it. When you're ready to pull it off, you got 3 13mm bolts here. Now I replaced mine because it was leaking back here and just dripping down. You can see my fluid is a different color too because we dyed it to pinpoint where the leak was at. Almost forgot, now you're also going to want to go ahead and pop this clip off. It's going to let you take the whole reservoir off the pump itself. There's just a tang right down in here that you need to pry upward. You do also have one on the bottom here. I got the top one off with just a pick, prying that upwards, and a punch to pop it off. Now that we have the pump all the way off, I have to go ahead and remove this pulley. You probably do too. Turns out I didn't actually have to remove my reservoir. The GM one comes with it. Most of the ones you buy online aftermarket though aren't going to come with a reservoir, so at least you know how to do that. At this point though, you do need a power steering pulley remover kit. This is from Mac. You can get them from Matco or even Harbor Freight. I do like this one, however, pretty easy getting off, and we also have the installer to get back on, and I can show you how. Once you get this on here, you're going to want to hold this 19mm still while you spin this, I believe 16mm. You're supposed to do it by hand. You can use an impact if you want. For you guys at home, a couple wrenches will work though. Going back together, I went ahead and cleaned off this guy here with some carb cleaner or brake cleaner, whatever you got. It's a good time to clean it up because we're gonna have a dry assembly at this point. We're gonna go ahead and reinstall it. This guy right here. Simply just gonna screw in here. Once you get it far enough down in here, you're going to go ahead and use a wrench and spin this guy. It's just going to press it on. Keep in mind you want to press that on flush. You don't want to go beyond or further than where it's supposed to, or you'll have to get the puller back out and pull it back up. Otherwise, it'll be misaligned with your belt. Keep that in mind. When you get done with it, it should look about like that. Nice and flush. I'm not focusing very well here, but at this point, reverse procedure and bleed your power steering system. If you can, get the front wheels up in the air, steer side to side, let the fluid drop a little bit, just keep topping it off. Eventually start it, do the same thing, and you should be good to go. We'll see you guys next time.